Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Noah Bergren here. Hello, how are you? Sorry, it is very bright in here. What's going on? Hope you've had a great day today on this 16th day of July, 2025. I'm Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergren here on Facebook and YouTube. We are tracking some storms across Central Florida. But before we get to that, I wanted to give you the latest 7-day forecast. It's going to get really hot this weekend. Temperatures in the high 90s Saturday and Sunday, with a heat index in many places that'll get up close to 110 by the afternoon and the evening. So there's the latest 7-day, but the big story now tonight is storms. And let me bring you to the cameras and the radar. Here's our Lake Mary Tower camera. You see a big downpour. This is coming in from the east. Let me know where you're watching from. Facebook YouTubers, I got my phone right here. You have a comment, concern? Hi, Betty Green. How are you? What's up, Betty? Can you believe we're halfway through July already, too? Time is just flying by. Appreciate all of y'all following us here on the Storm Team on our Facebook page and YouTube. There's the view from Orlando, looking towards the northeast. Big downpour going by classic July in Florida from our radar tower. This is by the UCF area. Then still some torrents of rain. This is up by the Ocala area. That camera is looking off to the north. So let me give you the latest radar view here. Storms, we got big storms up here around Ocala, Gainesville. A couple of downpours around Epcot and the Disney World area, also towards Seminole County. Then a few downpours here in Osceola and southern Brevard. And all of these clusters of storms are tracking this way thanks to the flow behind that tropical wave. And we'll do this exact same thing again tomorrow. You can see the loop of these storms today. And like I talked about last night, areas right on the coast, so I-95 and to the beaches, probably stay pretty dry today, tomorrow, and then everywhere is going to get dry for the weekend. But if you're in this area along the beaches, it will stay very dry without rain because all the storms, again, move this way over the next couple of days. So, way too hot, Jamie Bryan, I hear you, Facebook YouTubers. Hello, let me know what you're cooking and what you're talking about. Love to hear from you. What's going on in your life? So here's big storm up by Gainesville. Big time storm right over McIntosh, Kirkwood, Gainesville. This one could have some 55-mile-an-hour winds and some quarter-sized hail. Right, you see the purple right coming into Gainesville in the next few minutes. Could be some big wind gusts. We've already seen this storm produce a 51-mile-per-hour gust in the Ocala area about 40 minutes ago, and that storm continues to push towards Gainesville. So while that's sub-severe, remember, lightning does not make a storm severe. There could be 6 gazillion bolts of lightning, 60-mile-an-hour winds, and or a quarter-sized hail. That is what makes a storm severe, and for at least right now, this storm is sub-severe. So heads up, Gainesville friends. We'll keep an eye on that storm. Little thunderstorm here over towards Pomona Park, going towards Saratoga, Buffalo Bluff. There's a special weather statement here for Putnam County. Just means that the winds are sub-severe but still strong. Further to the south, this storm is falling apart, but still some lightning and thunder in Lake Mary, Lake Jessup coming into Sanford, into Oviedo as of right now. Further to the south, we're looking at some downpours here by Wedgefield and then over towards Epcot, Disney Springs, and Animal Kingdom. Some healthy downpours out there, but again, none of this is overly strong. Just a persistent downpour, and it's about to rain even harder at Disney Springs. Then over towards Dr. Phillips and Windermere as this downpour goes that way over the next few minutes. So if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, let me know where you're watching from. Give me a like, heart, shout out, question. Would love to hear from you on this Wednesday already. There's the view from Lake Eola below me. You see that right there. And we're in our new studio. I'm actually one of the first ones in our new studio. So forgive the mess behind me. It'll get all cleaned up. But this is our brand new studio behind me. That's our new green screen, which you can see over here. We're actually behind the set, so you'll see this at the debut next week. We're actually behind the new set, which I can show you here. It's pretty cool. You see there. Look how big it is. Yeah, so you'll see this next week on Fox 35. The brand new set is going to get debuted, I believe, tentatively next week. So that's pretty exciting. But I still get to track all the weather for you here. We do right here on Fox 35. So we'll watch these downpours for the next little while. There's some more down here coming into the Vieira area near Indian River County, but nothing overly too strong, just some downpours, lightning and thunder, and gusty winds. Hey, by the way, big national news today. we did have an earthquake up off of the Alaskan islands, about 55 miles south of Sandpoint. This was at about just around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, excuse me, just before 5 o'clock Eastern time. A 7.3 magnitude earthquake. There were tsunami warnings issued earlier. Thankfully, those tsunami warnings have come down. There was a small tsunami detected. Now, thankfully, there was not a destructive tsunami. They being the Weather Service and NOAA, a tsunami warning up into Anchorage for the concern, at least briefly, that there could have been a destructive tsunami. But thankfully, it appears that if there was a tsunami, it went out into open water, not towards those lightly populated islands around Kodiak and other places in Alaska. So a pretty big global weather news. Fairly strong earthquake for how not that deep it was. It's pretty shallow to have this strong of an earthquake. 7.3 magnitude up off of Alaska. That was earlier this afternoon. So that was a big story up there. But for us here at home, as you look again from downtown, the stories going forward are the following. It's going to be really hot this weekend. Can't stress that. The highest heat index of the summer so far, well, Saturday and Sunday, I think some places will get up over 108 each afternoon. Much lower rain chances Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I've been kind of screwed myself out of some theme park days and water park days with my girlfriend the last couple of weekends. I was last weekend. Very different this weekend. The rain chances are unusually low for the time of year. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In fact, below 30%, which is uncommon. Then the numerous storms will return, though, once we get into next week. So there are some delays tonight at MCO because of the area storms. You see that there on the yellow icon indicating some moderate delays, which generally in summer flying in Orlando, you're going to have delays almost daily. Where it's rained, it's just 77 in Orlando. Where it hasn't rained, oddly enough, Titusville is the warmest spot, sitting at 87 right now. And the heat index highest on the beaches, obviously, still at 102 in New Smyrna, about 93 in Daytona, 97 in the Melbourne area. So temperatures overnight fall into the mid-70s. The showers and storms continue through about 8, 9 o'clock, then they'll fall away. Tomorrow, low to mid-90s for the 17th of July already. Speaking of the tropics, we still have this area to watch. It has a 40% chance of development in that orange zone. It's no longer any threat or concern to us here in Florida, but it could be a big rainmaker to New Orleans and southern Louisiana over the course of the next few days. But the reason why concern for that is lower is if you look at the visible satellite tonight. I've actually made a graphic of this, got a lot of action online and on Facebook, a lot of shares. I wanted to address it. Last week, in hindsight, I think the graphic was good, really good. There was the low yesterday, and on the graphic we had 3 lines like this, something like that. And the idea was the further south this low track, the higher chance of a tropical storm or a hurricane. Well, look where that blob is. It's largely influenced by land right now. I mean, about half of it is over land right now, that tropical blob of showers and big thunderstorms. If that blob, I'll show you on the colorized infrared satellite, if that blob was 100 miles further south, we probably would already have a tropical storm or more out there. And you can see that blob right here sitting over southern Mississippi, Biloxi, New Orleans. And it ended up tracking like this as opposed to going like that, which is good news for those in Louisiana. Still could develop into Dexter tomorrow or Friday morning, but it's just going to be a big rainmaker regardless of classification in that area Thursday into Friday. So it's possible that we don't actually end up getting Dexter being named, which means that'll still be the next name up for the year. But there are the names for this year, Dexter and then Aaron, the next names up. And you can see the super blend of computer modeling indicating, I'll turn off this stencil so you can see the whole Gulf. A lot of rain here. Give me a second and find that button. There you go. Look at some of the rain here off of the bayou in southern Louisiana. Look at these totals here. 10 inches to a foot, 10 inches to a foot, and even over land, 6 to 10, and over in New Orleans, about 3 to 6 inches of rain. So there'll be some big rain totals regardless of this developing from that tropical wave in these areas. Is it possible tomorrow a tropical storm still spins up if a center can form offshore? I guess. So they'll watch for that, but this is no longer any threat to us here. Hello, Lauren. How are you? Hello, Freddie. It's pouring down here in McCanopy, Florida. Oh, yes, it is. You're welcome, Judy. We appreciate you watching. Hello, Tavares. It's cooling down and feeling great. Yes, it is. Hello from Winter Park, Kevin. If anybody has a question, comment, concern, please put them in the feed here. So the good news about that tropical wave is that it's going to move away from us. So there is the live radar from Melbourne. You can see the storms again today, tracking from southeast to northwest because we have that low over the Gulf right now. And in the Tampa area, there's been a lot of storms lately, and tonight getting a nice break. If you look over here from Lakewood Ranch to Sarasota, Manatee County, there's just a lot of dryness because generally a southeast wind is not going to produce big storms into Tampa, Bradenton, and Sarasota. So the storms are mainly Orlando to Gainesville and not in the Tampa area tonight. But speaking of Gainesville, we actually do have a flood alert now issued for the torrents of rain coming down. Put this on the Jacksonville radar, it's a little better. You see that green polygon? That's a flood advisory for Alachua County till 9:15. So some pretty heavy rain over the same area for a long while. Could be some areas of street flooding in and around Gainesville and the UF campus over the next few minutes. Let me see if I can pull up a camera from Gainesville quickly. We do have the UF camera, which it is fast approaching football season. I'm very excited for that. Obviously being a Penn State alum. Let me see if I can pull this up. So this might be a little bit away from or the worst of the weather. Let me see if we have a camera over on the east side of Gainesville. I don't think we do. Yeah, we don't, sadly. But here is the live camera from that area. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. So this is from the UF campus. You can see some of that big rain storm action there. The worst of the storm is east of the Gainesville campus for right now. But we'll keep an eye on that. And again, one more time, here's the view from downtown. Big downpour up by Oviedo. Speaking of Bithlo, this is where our radar is, east of Orlando. Some downpours there. It's still watching Ocala, but things are improving. And from our Lake Mary Tower camera, you can see maybe be a rainbow here in the next few minutes. So we'll keep an eye on these downpours and storms through the night tonight. There's the live radar. I don't think there'll be anything severe. Strongest storm on the board is up here around Gainesville, but it's moving out of our area to the north. And these downpours over here will continue moving like this through the remainder of the evening. So, next big story is the heat for the weekend from Tampa to Orlando. First of all, the rain chances over the next several days come down for Tampa, Orlando, just 20 to 30%, which is very low relative to average for the middle of July. In fact, I think most places will end up being dry. I don't quite have the gumption and the gusto to put a 0% rain chance in Florida in July because that would be unheard of. But it's very low. Most places will be dry Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Central Florida. And look what that does to the temperatures. Look at the heat index. That's how it feels. 108 Saturday, 111 Sunday, 110 Monday. Those are some big numbers, and we could have heat advisories for the first time in 2025. So for Florida, yes, it's hot in summer, but this is extra hot, even for Florida in midsummer, coming into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. And you can see the 7-day forecast quickly reveals that lower rain chance gives us the higher temperature as we head into the weekend. And you can look and see that right here. Temperature probably about 96, 97 Saturday and Sunday. Storm chances will return once we get into next week. So definitely something to watch there. It's going to get really hot. A great beach weekend. I think most places will be dry. Very drier than normal pattern for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then a lot of storms return Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. So appreciate y'all watching on Facebook and YouTube. Let's see. Terrell West. Saw some chatter earlier that our little invest is going to do a loop around the high. Yeah, it could. I didn't post or mention about that because I think the chances of that are low. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, of course. There's not a 0% chance that we could have the same thing again next week with another little tropical wave off of our coast. Rachel says I need to stay inside until October. Yeah, Rachel. You know, Rachel, when I moved here, it's funny. People said, oh, yeah, you moved here from Kentucky and you're from Connecticut, so you know heat, but you know cold as well. And I was like, yeah, okay, I do. But it's funny, people here are inside. This is, in a sense, the New England winter. Everybody's inside in the air conditioning. I didn't quite understand till I lived here, but it's funny. Yeah, so definitely, Rachel, this will be one of the hottest weekends of the summer so far. Great pool and beach weekend for sure in Central Florida. So appreciate y'all watching. Have a great night. I see you later tonight on the news at 10 and 11. Appreciate you watching. Don't forget, put the Fox Local app on your phone and on your TV. You get all of these updates and alerts and everything good that we put out. Looks just like this. And you can pick whatever major city you're near. Sorry, I don't know why my phone's being slow, or the app's being slow, but put that Fox Local app on your phone. It is great to watch all of our news and weather content. So appreciate y'all watching. Stay cool this weekend. I'll see you in the news coming up later tonight. Have a good night.